Guys, so I'm back with another video, okay? And this beat. So first I'm going to go ahead and line the bottom of my brows with my Fenty Beauty Brow MVP in the shade Deep Black. I know I liked soft black better when I reviewed it, but lately I've been loving Deep Black because it gives me like a very defined brow and I don't have to do anything extra to get that sharpness. You know that I'm gonna cut you with my brow look. I don't have to like do anything extra to get it because it's deep, it's beautiful, it goes on easy. I'm gonna go ahead and go pick up a few of them because I really like this pencil. Okay, so then after I lined the bottom of my brows, I go in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and this is the second shade before the last shade. I don't know what it's called, so second shade before last. And I go ahead and clean the bottom of my brow. I do it the same way I would if I had just, started out with my brows already done, because this makes it very easy for me to finish my eyeshadow and also allows me to fill in my brows at the end without having to try to get a really defined lower brow. Next, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution eyeshadow primer. It's a prime and lock. It's an eyeshadow primer. And I apply that on my eyelids and blend it in with my finger because, once again, it is an eyeshadow primer. It's not a base, okay? So you can use any eyeshadow primer. NYX eyeshadow primer, Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, any eyeshadow primer. And then I go in with the Cut Crease Canvas. Now, this is an eyeshadow base. I'm using the shade Illustrate. Illustrate is not a white shade. It's actually a tan or beige shade. It just looks white on me because I am so dark. So after I blend it in, I fan it down so that it can dry down a little bit more and not be so wet before I apply my eyeshadow. I always like to go in and do a second coat because a well-prepared eyelid gives you the best color payoff ever, okay? So today we're using the new BH Cosmetics Trendy In Tokyo palette, you guys. It is the perfect color palette to use because it is not intimidating. Like, it doesn't have like a million colors in it and you don't know which one to use. So I went in with that purple shade in the palette and I apply that to my outer corner. I didn't blend, I just stamped it in so it can actually get stuck in the base. Okay, so I just kept stamping it and I was so excited because of the color payoff that I was getting from the palette. I mean, it's so pretty, right? And then I go in with that green shade. Bruh, that shade I thought was going to be a little bit deeper than it is, but I'm not upset with it because it showed up so beautifully. It's like an almost deep green, but it's not so deep. And I actually like it. Okay, so I had a blend in my head that involved pink in my inner parts of the eye. So I went ahead and I put this pink in there. And I was very excited about this blend that I was going to come up with. It was going to be beautiful. It was going to be flawless. It was going to be oh so magical, okay? So then I go in and I blend the green and the purple together. I like that blend. I'm feeling that blend. It looks like it could work, like I can definitely blend the two together, make everything look nice and seamless. And then I go in to blend the pink and the green and I'm getting purple. And I'm like, I really didn't want it to transition purple into pink. Because then the whole eye just looks a little too pinkish or too purplish for me. You guys, like, I was freaking out, right? So I went ahead and added some yellow in the middle of the pink and the green to try to transition. I mean, it looked okay, but it wasn't the vision I had. So I went ahead and I wiped the pink off my face. This was not planned, okay? I saw a blend in my head. I thought I could make it work. And I probably could have made it work if I had used a different shade on the outer parts of my eye instead of the purple. But I didn't like that everything was looking so purplish. So I went ahead and wiped it off and applied a new base to the inner parts of my eye. And I fanned that down so it could get tackier faster. And then I applied the green all the way into my inner corner. That's how you do an impromptu blend the way you want to do it, okay? If it's not coming out right, I would rather just wipe. I just didn't like it. I'm sure I could have created something with it, but I didn't like it, okay? So I went in the palette and I took that yellow shade and I applied that directly over the green. I didn't blend anything. I just stamped it to make sure that it was showing up really, really intensely. So after I stamped it in, I blended out with the same brush. Then I took our Huda Beauty double-ended brushes and blended in the green. And then after that, I took my other brush that I used. I took my other Huda Beauty double-ended brush and I went ahead and applied the pink shade in the palette on top of the purple, and then I blended that purple into the pink. I blended the purple into the pink and blended the yellow into the pink and blended the green into the yellow, just to make sure everything was beautifully blended and married and smoldering and melted all the way together. Okay, it was cute. It was coming out how I wanted it to come out, minus the pink in my inner corner, because I really wanted that pink in my inner corner. So after that, I went ahead and cut my crease. I didn't show the crease cutting because I didn't record it, but you know, I just did my eye marking the way I do it for hooded eyes, and I cut it exactly where the eye was marked. And then I went in and took that red shade in the palette and blended that into the outer parts of the cut crease. And I took this shade, it's like a pastel blue shimmer shade, and I applied that to the inner corner of the cut crease. Now after I applied it, I went ahead and blended the shimmer shade into the red shade so that it would look beautifully blended together. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the skin. I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer, and I think this is the matte primer. I don't know why I did this because the foundation I was using was matte. Well, I didn't know which foundation I was going to use, okay? But then it ended up being matte, 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 matte. And you guys, when I apply my primer, I do it the way God intended us to do it, to just be plentiful with... I don't skim on my primer. I don't put a pea size all over my face. I put primer on my face because I have oily skin. If I don't prime my skin very well, then my base will break down as soon as my oil comes through. So I apply my primer, okay? Then I went in with the Lancome Tient Idole Ultra Wear Foundation, and this is the shade 555C, and I applied 2 pumps on the back of my hand and just dotted some on my face. I didn't use all the foundation, but I just dotted some all over my face and wiped the excess off my hand. And I blended that foundation in with the Sigma F80 Kabuki brush. This brush is beautiful for blending out foundation. I haven't been using it a lot because it was dirty, okay? And over the weekend, I washed all my brushes. So yay, brushes! And Belly saying hi to us today. She was all up in my face. She was loving my eye look. She was like, Mommy, I love your eyes. They're so pretty. And I was like, oh, thank you, baby. And then I go in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Self-Setting Concealer. This concealer sets itself. I have a video on this concealer that I wore it by itself and did a wear test for 10 hours so we can see if it was really self-setting or not. But this sets itself, so I went ahead and applied it, but I'm using the shade 53. I applied too much concealer. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I just kept going and going and going, and later on I realized, okay, I put too much on my face. This is ridiculous. And then I go in with the Real Techniques. This is a small powder brush, if I'm not mistaken. Once again, I will put the exact description, the exact name of this brush down below. But the brush is small enough that it fits under my eyes, and I absolutely love using it for blending out my concealer instead of applying powder. Because it works very, very beautifully. But I blended out the concealer. I didn't blow it out too much. I just blended it in place and, you know, blended out the edges. And I blend out the edges so you can see it didn't take over my whole face because I didn't blow it out. I just blended it in place. Then I used the brush and just applied it over my neck. And then I go in with my Juno & Co brush. This is a brush that comes from the first brush set that they had, and I'm using my benign nutmeg powder and setting my face. I love this powder because it matches my concealers to the T. It doesn't give me that extra bright face. I don't do extra brightness under my eyes because it doesn't come out right on me because I'm so dark. I don't like the contrast it gives me, okay? So I apply a powder that's more closely matched to my concealer shade and my chest shade so that I can help balance everything out. Okay, So if you haven't seen my video on the Juvia's Place Chocolates palette, I will link that down below so you can see it. But this palette also doubles as a contour palette. So I'm taking my Sephora brush and taking that shade that I showed you guys and using that as my contour. So I shade in where the hollows of my cheek would be if my face wasn't so full. Yes, I know. My face is rounded up a lot, okay? Just deal with it. I'm living my best life, my best rounded face life. So I just go ahead and apply the contour to my cheeks, and then I contour my forehead and the sides of my face so that my concealer is not running up to my hairline. So I go in with the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Palette Volume 1, and I'm taking these two shades and applying that to my face to give me some warmth, okay, to just make it look like I'm blushing. I really like this palette a lot. It's an absolutely beautiful blush palette for dark skinned girls. And then I go in and I cut the contour. So I use the powder on my cheek, that way it can define the contour and the blush really well, and it's not just allowing it to blow down all the way to my jawline. It cuts it off and makes it more defined. Yeah. Okay guys, so I went back in and took the purple shade and applied that all over my lower eyelids. Okay, that was literally all I did for my lower eyelids, just purple from one end to the other end, and that was it. I didn't apply any other colors. And then I took the LA Girl neon eyeliner pencils and I applied 3 coats on my eye. And then I go in with a brush that came in one of the Sigma palettes, and I just used that purple shade to clean up any mess I made when I was applying my waterline color. So I took my double-ended Huda Beauty brush, went in and took that pink shade and blended that purple shade all the way around so it was radiating pink from the bottom to the top. Okay, we want to make sure everything looks good. Okay, I took my my Sephora Precision eyeliner. This is done. I need to get like a new one because this is completely gone. And I went in and I lined my eyes. I wanted to do like a complicated color, but you know what, I figured my eyes was already colored enough. So I took my Milk Makeup mascara primer, and the mascara itself, there's a specific name to this and I'll put it on the screen, and I put that primer on my lower lashes because they need a whole lot of help. Okay, like they don't show up and they need love. Okay, but I was loving how this was looking. I almost didn't put black over it, okay, but I knew I had to because my eyes were already dramatic and I just needed to tone down the drama. So after I did that, I went in and I filled in my brows with the same brow pencil, which was the Fenty Brow MVP in the shade Deep Black. Today I'm going in with the Bonsu Beauty Ohemaa Trio lashes, and I just picked one of them and applied it to my eyeballs, okay, because they were going to give me drama. Okay. I'm having too much fun. Set my face with the LA Girl setting spray. It kind of made my base look wonky, but after a while it was okay. So I went in and took this yellow shade in the palette. It's like a neon green neon yellow shimmer shade, and I apply that to my inner corner. So next I'm going in with the Illuminating in Ireland BH Cosmetics palette that launched. Both palettes that I use from BH Cosmetics today are $16 each, and they're launched already, so you can definitely go ahead, check the link down below in my description box and check them out. So then I go ahead and line my lips with the NYX brow and eye pencil. It's a dark brown pencil. Once again, I still haven't found a dark brown pencil that's worked for me, and so I'm just going to keep using an eye and brow pencil for my lips. Then I went in with the Huda Beauty Nude Lippy. You guys, I was sleeping on these. They've been sitting here for a while. I decided to open the package and I put it on, and this is like my favorite shade ever. Okay, the formula is beautiful. It feels very nice, and the shade just matches so well. I absolutely love this lippy. I'm probably going to use it in every video now. I've used it twice already. I love it. And I set my face again, and you guys, that's all I wrote. Okay, like, I love this. It is very colorful, but I feel like it's very achievable because I only used a few colors on the blend, and it is absolutely something that you could do. You just have to take your time and blend. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Well, let me know down below in the comments which other palettes you want to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.